Okay, welcome back, Daggerheart. Welcome back to the Witherwild. What I was going to comment on with regards to this map is the box that's got location names in it that's up in there, and how freaking awesome some of those names are. God's Nest, the Fields of Unceasing Song, the Carnivorous Divide, the Seed of the Night Feeders, the Cackling Moor, the Pond of Lost Hope. And I was going to comment on that, but instead I am forced to zoom in on the city of Haven and what the actual heck you did to the skeleton of the small god that they carved their city into, because that is some eyeball that creature is
got yassified.
I'm not sure why you needed to put lipstick on it.
Yassified.
I'm not sure why you need to put that shade of lipstick on there, I guess I'm going to say more accurately. There. With that said, I will bring you back into the Sablewood. Actually, let's just jump back to our ambush map for a second, just to remind us of where we all were here. So we had our little ambush with...
What's with the spoon?
What's with the what? Ping it.
The spoon.
Stone. What's stone?
That's another spoon.
I didn't get to steal it.
No, you didn't.
Sad.
So we, when we last left our heroes, they were busy kicking the crap out of some folks who had set up an ambush here. Probably, based on what you saw, these were actually, I'm going to say that Zoe is able to provide a little bit of context here, because Stoat would suspect, that these folks are Thistlefolk, or rather sort of the worst part of Thistlefolk, more accurately, I think is probably a better way of saying it. There are patches out in the wilds where the brambles become almost impassable, and there is an equally difficult to imagine or hardy group of folks that live in those areas, because it's a great way to make sure that nobody bothers you, because they just simply, it's really hard to live inside of these brambles, but not least because they move. So you kind of have to be semi-nomadically inclined, and also willing to live inside of these very, this very difficult underbrush, and that sort of thing. For these things. So they're most commonly sighted in underbrush and bramble off trail. The misconception is that these guys are all rogues, anarchist criminals, that sort of thing. Actually not true. They tend to be very into seclusion. They're mostly pretty peaceful. It's just that some of them get sick of that and decide that they're going to, sort of live a more aggressive lifestyle. And they're sort of the worst parts of the Thistlefolk society are the ones that people know about the best, because they're the ones that go out and like set up these kind of camps and stuff like that and try to ambush other people who are traveling through the area and whatnot. That was your suspicion, Zoe. You're able to confirm it when you see the body of the guy that Kiki dropped is wearing a set of Thistlefolk armor. So the Thistlefolk armor is kind of special stuff, but basically I want you to imagine, you guys, when we were at the comic or at the LitCon this weekend, the scale mill. Mm-hmm. Okay, I want you to imagine the scale mill, except instead of metal scales, it's flat. Remember when we skipped rocks? And we get the rocks that are really, really good for skipping because they're flat and thin, and they're almost like disc-like, and they make it really easy for skipping. That's what they have layered into these into this armor. Let me see if I can find the thing on it. There's what I'm looking for. So it's like little. It's almost like beads, like they beaded together a really tight bead mesh for their armor, and they use it for protecting themselves. It's initially really kind of for dealing with the fact that they're living in these brambles and passing through a lot of really nasty brambles and stuff like that. And the frog is wearing the you guys asked last time if frog is probably is it maybe considered a slur. It would be like calling a human a monkey. So
it is a slur.
I would say probably. So the ribbit that's wearing this thing, he's wearing like a normal like cloth shirt over it, but he's got like this sort of beaded short sleeved jacket of these beaded colored stones. It's really quite clever and pretty. It's essentially, let me look at your armor. Who's got like, are you guys both wearing like gambesons?
Don't know.
Let me look at Stoat equipment. Stoat's wearing gambeson armor. So that is, so it's more like the leather armor. I think the threshold's closer to leather armor.
You
It's
should probably not walk into their village wearing.
the village that you're heading to is Hush, and that's not a Thistlefolk village. They're hidden. They're even more hidden than Hush is. The armor might be valuable. Somebody might pay you for it, even if you don't want to have it yourself. It has, so just to give you an idea, where your armor, like to give you an idea of the Gambeson armor, you get 3 points of armor that you can spend on it, and it has a base threshold of 5/11, and then that's modified by your stats. The Thistlefolk armor has the same 3 points of armor on it, but the threshold is 1 higher for the threshold, or the major threshold, and then the severe threshold is 13 instead of 11, so it's tougher than the Gambeson. It doesn't give you the +1 to evasion that Gambeson does, but it has a special thing that when you take minor damage, are you with me so far? So you get hit, and the damage that you would take would be minor. You roll a d12, and if the roll is your level or lower, you mark a stress instead of marking. So you sort of take a bruise rather than like an actual cut. So it's a little bit tougher than regular leather armor. Essentially. And it's also cool because it's like this beaded rocks, kind of beaded pebbles almost.
I know this is probably not what you were thinking of, but it's the first thing that came to my mind, and I thought it's
Watching stream. Yeah, the beaded stuff over there. Yeah, I think that's actually a really cool way of...
Yeah, except this is real life, and someone actually made it.
That's really... So yeah, I kind of like that for the beaded... Yeah, imagine that, but it's like a t-shirt of armor. The beaded stuff there is really nice. So yeah, I want you to do, if you imagine that, except it's not really like, it hasn't been patterned so much, it's just sort of random. So there are colored rocks in there, colored pebbles and that sort of thing. But essentially it's random. And that honestly makes it a little bit like, it means it's not standing. Patterns would be cool, but patterns are also easier to spot in a natural environment. It's better that it's not that. If you want, you can grab it. If you want to wear it, you can do that, and we can do that real quick. It's up to you. Is anybody interested? Thistlefolk armor.
I kind of want to keep the plus to my evasion, but I feel like Zoe should definitely take it.
Zoe, are you interested in this beaded armor stuff?
Yes. Sure.
Are you? Okay. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, Thistlefolk, probably what you guys were dealing with there, and notable that he had this stuff on. It's essentially leather armor, just it's a little bit better against taking light hits. It means you maybe take less of a hit on light damage. Okay, so back to what we were looking at here. You guys managed to get the rocks out of the way. Most of that work being done by Nonny, and then being able to move on from there. And then it's probably another couple of hours travel to get to the village of Hush, which is where you were headed in the first place. We'll move over there. Don't worry too much about the picture on the bottom, but we do have Haley's coloration of the village for Hush. This is this little thing here on the side. Actually, let me move this back to the pillar here is actually in the front, like when it's next to the road. So it's not, I realize you could look at the picture and not realize that this thing is like up close, and you would think, oh my God, this enormous tower, almost the size of the tree. No, it's like right next to the camera kind of thing. The pillar is.
Seems odd.
Could you ping it?
This pillar here on the side with the vines around it.
Oh yeah.
I want you to imagine like a road marker. It's maybe about 6 feet high, and it's next to the road as you're coming in.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the tree is way back, and it's enormous. There's my happy little. There we go. So your path away from the ambush leads away into the forest until eventually you spot this large stone pillar carved top to bottom in. I feel like I'm not even sure who would recognize this. Like, who would recognize that these are dwarven runes?
Sean or Zoe?
Definitely not Sean. Zoe, do you think you would recognize these as like, even if you didn't read it, you would go, oh, that's dwarven? Or is it like, that's not what I do? I tell you what, Zoe, if you say that you don't know that they're dwarven runes, I will trade you a different kind of knowledge. You either know that they're dwarven runes or you're going to know something about the magic that's in the stone pillar. All right, so you don't really get the runes, never really seen them, but you absolutely know that there's a magic infused into this pillar that is druidic in nature. It's your kind of magic. And you would guess, you wouldn't even really have to guess, it's probably some kind of ward or protective thing or warning or something like that. But you're more likely to guess that it's more about concealment, some kind of concealment magic. Something that lets a small creature hide away in the roots of a tree, or lets a predator pass by without noticing somebody up in the branches amongst the leaves. Something for hiding away.
Kiki's like, darling, you're staring awful close at that rock. I don't think it's that interesting. What's the face for?
Magic.
Magic rock. And as you see this, Zoe, you can see that these rocks are actually, these little stone pillars are kind of marking the boundary all the way around this village. There's every so often, there's
Magic rocks.
And Kiki, you may not know what the heck she thinks is so special about these rocks. It's not like they're glowing or anything, but you feel a sensation when you go past this thing, like your ears popping, changing altitude. Like it's like going into a bubble or coming out of a bubble or something there's a small pressure change kind of going into, and you've been here before, so you're familiar with this. There's a reason that the village is called Hush, is because they're known for being hard to find if they don't want somebody to find them, which is maybe why you've been sent here with a load of weapons to hide.
Crosses the threshold and she's like, oh, so that's how they do it.
The trees of the Sablewood are unchanged here, but there is a distinctive, safe, comforting air to the area. There's a few smiling faces turning as you roll in, waving or casting a warm greeting. It's kind of unusual that they're like, welcome. There's music drifting up your direction from, I say the tavern. This whole thing here in the middle where I'm pinging is the tavern. It's a
Nice.
6-story structure. It's possibly one of the biggest taverns in the Feywick. All right, we're going to ask a couple of questions about this space as we're rolling in here. Actually, we're going to start with Zoe. Zoe, there is a druid in town who lives here. He is another moth fairy like yourself. What is your relationship to them?
No, I'm kidding. No, I cut off ties with my family, remember?
Uh-huh.
They, after I left, my family, they were one of the first druids that, taught me how to do more druid stuff.
Sort of a master of yours.
Yeah.
Okay. You've never learned their name. They're known as the Arcanist, and they live in sort of a treehouse. It's not inaccurate to say it's a treehouse, but it's not what you would immediately think of when you think of the words treehouse.
You said Arcanist, and I thought you said Arsonist, and I got so confused.
But
They go by the Arsonist.
Sean, what have you heard about this place? You've never been here before, but what have you heard about it?
The people in charge of coordinating the movements of the Haven shock troops spent a lot of time trying to find this place, and they were unsuccessful. And that is very strange because they were able to find they are very good at finding places to hit.
And they were unable. This has been a real.
It has been a real head scratcher with the Haven military.
Interesting. Do you think you felt anything of that pressure change when you came in? I know Kiki did. Well, let me ask this a different way. You definitely could tell something happened. What did it feel like to you, or how did you experience it? Like I said with Kaylee, it was like your ears popping from an altitude change.
It felt like my engine went up a little.
Like revved a bit? Interesting. Like almost like if you were a person, your heart rate went up.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Kiki, who is your contact? And I will give you a list to pick from for this. Who is your contact that you're supposed to talk to about the weapons thing? Who do you already know here from the last time you were here? And are they the same person? The contact options you have are a clank. Now it's a Fanewick clank, so he's more stone and wood than he is metal and brass and steel and stuff. A dwarf named Lausa, or a human for the contact. The dwarf? Okay, the dwarf contact that you're looking for is an older woman named Lausa Standworth. You got notes in your character sheet. You might want to put it in there. Lausa Standworth is a dwarf. Pronouns are she, her. She's an older woman with a thick beard. Like Laura, but with an S instead of an R.
Also, what's her name?
Standworth. You can call her like Rebel Contact or something like that. Yeah, older woman. She runs the bar. She's one of the two. She's actually one of the two owners in the bar. She's a bit of a weapon nerd. That was the only thing of any that would count as like intelligence, useful information that your boss, that your like commander gave you, in all that stuff that he kept interrupting himself from. Mm-hmm. It was her name and the fact that she's a bit of a weapons nut. That's it. Not what he actually thought the problem was going to be, anything like that. Now tell me about who your other. Now, is she the same person as you knew before? Is she your personal contact? Okay, well then who's your contact? Who's your person that you knew from before? No. Or tell me about them, like if you want to ballpark it. I feel like you need a random table generator just to pick a race.
Like, I know. I feel
this one is a female.
I'm a little lost
okay.
at sea right now.
Giant. All right.
I wasn't prepared.
Do you want me to hand you the book so you can just flip through the ancestries?
Yes, please.
Okay, I'll bring it in.
Bring it to me. Gimme.
So just to remind everybody, Kiki's thing is when you arrive in a town or environment, you know somebody, prominent town or environment. This one will be prominent though. You know somebody who calls this place home. Give them a name, note how you think they could be useful, and choose one fact from the following list. They owe you a favor. They're going to ask for something in exchange. They're always in a great deal of trouble. We used to be together. It's a long story. Or we didn't part on great terms.
Okay, so my contact is Diana the Fawn.
Okay.
She is... The background with every contact is that they're always an ex of mine. That doesn't necessarily mean that the choice is we used to be together, it's a long story. 'Cause sometimes it's not a long story. That's not like the main thing about them. It's just always a part of it. It's just not always the main part of it. So I want to make that very clear. Well, I think...
So wait, you guys had this whole business thing. Were you guys not together? Oh, no, we were together. That's not the...
we were together. It was clean, easy. It's just like the we used to be together, it's a long story. That I'm saving for like somebody where you're just like, what? Like, excuse me? Like that kind of situation. Anyway, I think Diana is always in a great deal of trouble because she's got her hands in everyone's pockets, and that means that sometimes she is intermixed with a little bit too many things and just she's a little zany. She's been in hush for a very long time, and that makes her a little bit what's the word when you're in your house for too long?
Stir crazy?
Yes, she's stir crazy.
What'd you say her name was?
Add that to my journal as well. Let the list of X's begin.
All right, I put Diana and the Arcanist down below the map. If you scroll, or not the map, but the picture of town. If you scroll down a bit, does that picture work?
In trouble. Perfect.
That work out?
Yes.
Okay, I'm delighted. I'm so pleased. Lausa Standworth. I don't need. I don't know. Sean can do some research. I need a good bearded, older bearded dwarf woman. But for now, you're just gonna have to imagine an older bearded dwarf woman. Say older, in her 50s. Well, human years would be 50s. So yeah, into town. You know that she runs the bar. Is that the first part? I mean, Are you heading straight there, or what are you doing? I mean, the interesting thing about the tavern is it's not an inn, okay? Mm-hmm. Hush does not work that way, and we can assume that Kiki is kind of explaining this to the two of you. So here's the thing: there's no place to stay, but you can stay anywhere. The deal is that when you come into Hush and you don't own a place, you stay with somebody who's from Hush. You can stay for 3 days, and then you either have to leave or find somebody else who will take you in. Do not abuse this, or, well, actually, I don't know what happens, but all I've ever heard is if somebody doesn't obey the rules, the village leaves it to the trees. And given the size of some of the trees, I've just decided not to find out what that means. But yeah, that's...
So I have a friend that we can stay with.
Is it one of your exes?
I find that piece of information to be irrelevant.
So yes.
Well, yes, but this is a good one. We're fine.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Last I checked, she had a house. I don't know if that's still the case. Because she's a bit of I don't know. But I think she has a house. So I think we could stay with her.
Do you want to go to where you think her house is, or do you want to go to the Clover Tavern first and find your delivery contact?
I think we should deliver first.
If for no other reason, it means that Nonny doesn't have to lug around the wagon anymore. Lord.
Dad, look in fam chat.
Ooh, okay. Maybe, but she's grayer than that. Well, there's a little bit of gray. I don't hate it. I feel like as a working woman, she would have a tidier beard hair situation, or it would at least be bound up more just to stay out of the way. As a starting point, as a vibe, we can certainly go with that. All right, so the Clover Tavern is a sight to behold. 6 curving stories climbing the trunk. You know those the fungus, the forest fungus, the mushrooms that kind of like are ledges that go up the side of the tree?
Shelf mushrooms.
Shelf mushrooms, okay. They kind of, and you can see it in the picture, but the structures kind of call to mind the idea of the shelf mushrooms. Climbing the trunk of this tree, heart of the community, always crowded with music. You can hear conversation coming from almost as soon as you get into town. And really only once you get into town, like the sound of the conversation, you really feel like you should have heard a little bit further away. You don't hear until you're past the stone markers. And then you can hear the noise of the community. Newcomers at the bar have to take off their shoes and hang them over a line that stretches across the bar's ground floor. And then when you leave, you pick your shoes back up, and they will have locals will have put tokens in them that sometimes are indications of what they think of you, what their impression of is in you, what grim vision they had of you while they were drinking a beer. Sometimes they polish your shoes.
Check your shoes before you put them back on. Last time I got them back, there was gel and all these things, and it didn't fit properly for like a month because my ankle was swollen. Always check your shoes.
I may have found a better photo, Dad.
Nonny, do you have shoes? Do you wear shoes just because it's the vibe?
I do not wear shoes. I don't feel like it is necessary.
That's probably fair. I think that is a great picture of how Lausa looked in earlier days. I think she's a little bit, but if you like, she would look at that picture and go, ha, yeah, I remember back then. Oh yeah. Oh, the stuff I got up to. If I remembered half of what I got up to back then, I would have.
College.
Yeah, except definitely not college. So yeah, definitely that. But if she were old, like that's a picture of her in the dwarven equivalent of her late teens, early 20s college years, or rather her adventuring and hell-raising days. I'm for it. Okay, I'm for it, Zoe. Good job. Well done. The research has happened.
The magic of Google.
The magic of Google. So yeah, you're coming in, and as you're like coming up to up the first flight of steps there, and coming in, the main entrance is just an open arch. There's not even doors that could really pull across there, because really the first bar is almost just like an open patio they decided to cover. And you do see an older woman with a thick beard carrying a barrel of ale. And I mean like one of the good-sized ones, like the ones that would be like the gunpowder barrels in Baldur's Gate. And she's just carrying that, kind of holding one hand to kind of just keep it balanced and the other one to just kind of keep it up on her shoulder. And she's kind of walking and she's like, come on in. Shoes on the line. If you have shoes. And, all the seats any of the seats that are open are seats that are open. Actually, she starts to turn away, and then she comes back and actually walks back over to you and says, well, where are you in from then?
Well, we've come from Haven, actually.
No,
we're here to chat with you.
Probably not.
No.
Name a town, name a town, because Haven is the capital of the bad guys.
Oh, I thought we were from Haven.
No.
Might be.
You are originally from Haven because your noble family is from there. But Haven's the
Fair.
invaders. So actually,
Ron's originally from Haven. I'm actually the only one who's not originally from Haven.
technically, both two of you are originally from Haven, but saying that you're from Haven is probably not what you want to do.
I genuinely thought that's where we were coming from. I didn't realize that we were coming from somewhere else.
Let's say that you're coming from. I'm gonna move you guys back over to the. We're gonna let you guys decide. Go back over to the Witherwild map. I'll pop you over there real quick. Take a look in the top left-hand corner. There's a list of various description, like site location names. Where did you guys come from that has that would have sent a shipment of weapons to be hidden away that belongs on the Fanewick side of things?
Well, then I think.
Stolen Fen,
That
I think.
I liked Firefalls.
I like Seagloam. That sounds okay.
Seagloam would be on the coast, but not impossible.
What did you say?
He said Stolen Fens, which would probably mean it was somewhere around here, around literally the marshes that the Haven guys have stolen. And that, in terms of we have this stash of weapons that we want to hide away, we're shipping it away from the Haven occupation, certainly makes sense.
Yeah.
Fire.
Let's do that, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, we're from Stolen Fens.
Like the Stolen Fens. And we've actually come to chat with you, darling. If you have a moment.
Knowing where you came from and the fact that you're looking for her, and you don't know how she heard, but this somebody behind the bar gets a look like they're not thrilled with this bit of conversation. Let me just set this down and we can go outside and talk then. And she
Oh, of course. We wouldn't want to interrupt your work.
sets this down and motions you. We'll get you seats in just a moment. Save your shoes for now. And she,
Look down on my feet.
maybe you need shoes. Maybe you need shoes just to have for the hanging up of shoes. So she follows you out and sees the cart and it goes, okay, so you're coming from there, but you're wearing, little one, you're wearing thistlefolk armor. Are you from around here? Actually, Zoe, what do you think the odds are that she knows you from when you were studying with the Arcanist?
Probably, since I'm like.
Aren't you?
Like,
Yeah, and you're a fairy moth. Aren't you that little sparrow? What was your name? Didn't you study with the Arcanist for a while, little one? You were
Yes.
Weasel or Minx or
Stoat.
All right. So, all right. What's in the cart?
Well, we can't exactly keep them where they're at. They're not for you. They're just gonna wait here, to, just be away from prying eyes. They're, various toys.
I don't really think I have any capacity raising eyebrows, so I kind of just look down at her. Weapons shouldn't be called that. What are you using weapons for?
Who did the weapons? Are they our weapons or do they belong to somebody else?
Well, there are weapons now.
They're passing through.
Take the cart. Take the cart around the back. Take the cart around the back and just a bit down the hill. There's a door. There's a pair of wide barn doors that lead right into just amongst the roots. You'll see it. I'll meet you back around there.
Go back to the.
We really need to work on your whispering skills. You're not very good at it.
Small, and she's walking away going, small gods have mercy.
I wasn't built for whispering.
I wasn't built for whispering.
I don't have the capacities for whispering.
Can we go back to the map?
And I'm doing
Oh,
it
yeah, we
at
can go back to
speaking
the map.
volume.
We'll go back to the town. So yeah, she wants you to go up over the hill basically here and go around the back where the roots of the tree are kind of exposed. And the village goes on. It's bigger than just these few buildings that you guys see, but certainly the main part is these roots that lead down into the thing. Actually, do any of you actually know what the weapons are that are in this thing? Let me ask it. Did any of you look? You absolutely looked? Okay.
I'm a nosy bitch.
So there's like crates and they're still organized and they are absolutely still stamped with like the Hush army, or not the Haven army. So there's a crate that is literally the entire width of the wagon and the length of the wagon, but it's flat. It's only about yay deep. Okay, so very wide, very long, but flat. And when you open that up, it's 12 what they call shock glaives.
That seems vaguely close to police brutality.
So they're glaives, they're pole arms, but they also have the capacity for short-ish range blasts.
I was picturing police tasers.
No, glaives, but also blunderbuss on the other end. A pain in the ass for maintenance and stuff like that. And you were never issued them. These things are fairly rare. I say blunderbuss is more like a musket rifle or some kind of.
Yeah, we got more budget as the invasion went on, and my series was made fairly early in that process. In the process of the invasion, so they had the budget to make us and give us weapons.
Yeah. So that's one of them.
Very basic stuff.
There's a couple of gauntlets that apparently don't come in pairs. They're just singles. They're meant to be sort of offhand things. These things there's only one of them. This is like, the box itself was a bit of a pill to even get into. The thing is stupidly warded. And then the other thing, Kaylee, you're not 100% sure. Okay, you watched with me Castlevania, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember the seeing mirror that he had that was all shards and stuff, and it would just lay in a pile on the floor when he didn't have it running? Yeah. Mm-hmm. You open up, there's a box in there that's more like a sort of a jewelry box, except it's big. It's like this big. Like, look at my hand spread, right? You open it up, and it's just shards of rock, like sharp rock, and they're just laying in there. They're not connected. They're just laying in there. And you're looking at it, trying to even figure out what you're looking at, and you realize that your nose is bleeding. And you close the box. You don't even know what the fuck you're looking at.
Yeah.
And
Jeez.
I'll tell you for free, Sean, if you looked at that, you're like, that was definitely above my pay grade. I have no idea what that's for, but it's probably one of the world.
Yeah, no, I looked at it, and my exhaust pipes started doing a little extra smoking.
We're gonna
Basically the equivalent of a nosebleed.
So this is an absolute pain in the neck to get up to, Sean. I'll tell you that for free. And since you're the one hauling the wagon, it's definitely going to be a big pain in the neck. But we're going to switch over here. You with me so far?
I am. I'm looking at. Ooh.
All right, I'm just gonna ping the map.
Very fancy.
Okay, I'm gonna ping the map. Are you seeing where I'm pinging? Because this thing is huge.
Oh Jesus. Yeah. I'm zoomed out all the way. Where are you pinging?
Sort of bottom leftish.
Oh, I see it. Enhance.
Enhance, yeah. So I'm gonna draw a line of where you need to go. You with me? So okay, so I'm gonna draw. Oh, God, let me make this red. Otherwise, I don't see how you're going to see it. Do you see the red trail?
Yikes.
And you've got to, like, this is winding and climbing the whole way, and you've got to get the cart up this thing to get them up to where it needs to go. Okay? This is the backside of the tree. Freaking Yggdrasil here that you're going up. Because you're going past quite a few little buildings that are built around the roots and everything. Little terraced sections. There's a pond and a stream that runs through here, all that kind of stuff.
I have to scroll so much just to travel the actual length of it.
I zoomed one click short of all the way out. Like, I'm zoomed out to 20, and then you can scroll, and it's not too bad to scroll at that point if you use the mouse wheel.
Yeah, 20 is good.
But yeah, this is a big map for sure.
Chainpeku? Who did this?
Chipeku.
Wow.
Yeah, I have I guess membership or a Patreon or something like that, but I have a membership for both their fantasy pictures and their fantasy maps that go along with it.
Jesus Christmas.
Why?
It's just so...
The detail? Yeah, it's great.
AI could never. I'm gonna be so for real. I don't.
Well, there's a reason. You pay your artists if you want the good stuff, right? So I pay for a license for this, and it's worth it.
Yeah. Pay them money instead of water, and you get quality like this.
And Zoe, I'm just going to point out that there's a couple places along the trail where you see some more of those like stones, sort of warding stones. They may not be used for the same thing, but you do see them around here. You see where?
Oh my God, my pings are so small
because the map is so big, right? But you can see them kind of along the trail in a couple different places. Zoe, I'd like you to make an instinct roll.
Instinct.
And if you want one of your experiences to apply to it, if you want to spend a hope on that, you certainly can. But I think your voice of the trees thing, or voice of nature, or mouth of, what'd you call it? Mouth of nature? Nature's mouth? That wouldn't necessarily apply, but if you want to do something like magical sensitivity or something like that, that would maybe apply. But you need to decide that that's what your other experience is.
18 with hope.
Very nice. With hope. Okay, mark a hope. You picked up a hope.
Wow.
The stones are fluttering a little bit. The magic of the stones are fluttering a little bit as you guys come, like, sort of roll past. And because you rolled with hope, I'm going to say it isn't just like, oh, they're just reacting to living people going by. It doesn't feel like that. It feels like it's not a good reaction.
The stones?
Yeah, the stones are fluttering. And I'm going to say it's not the fluttering of like a sensor going, oh, there's activity nearby. It's the fluttering of a light bulb that's almost going out. Like the flickering of a light bulb that's starting to fail. So are you tracking what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm also just watching Kaylee struggle.
Do you want to do anything about that, or is that just information you're going to file away?
It's just over in the back of my head.
Okay. Those rocks are all over the place, aren't they? There's one there. There's one there. There's one over here. But not just at the border. They're everywhere.
The river is heavily
Was
watered.
there like actually water here?
There's like a river that
Sorry about that, y'all.
There's a river that comes in the backside, kind of through, I'm going to call it the south side of, and it comes up near the roots of the tree. And the roots go down into the water. So there's places where you can sit on the roots and basically fish. I'm going to ping one of them.
Sure hope the roots are good at finding water.
And there's over here, there's roots that run right down into the water and sort of underneath and stuff like that, if you see where I'm pinging. So,
About here.
where are you pinging?
On the
It's
left
here.
side.
What's that?
Here.
Oh
On the
yeah.
left
So
side.
yeah, that one's funny because it goes all the way. It kind of goes under the ground and then comes back up out of the water and then back in again. So yeah, there's big monster roots. Like,
This one's even got fishing supplies next to it, so.
got to admire the detail on this thing. This is an enormous map. It's absolutely huge.
Praise be Chepeku, or however you pronounce it.
Chipeku is
Praise be Chepeku. I don't know what we'd do without you.
Okay, so again, up the trail. I think the only thing I mentioned that while you weren't there was that there's more of the rune stones kind of in a couple places along the trail. I pinged for Zoe that aren't border stones. They're more like they're just and something that Zoe noticed is stones are kind of reacting as you guys go by to an extent. So okay, so you go in through the entrance there. You go in through it's basically a cave that leads you into the, like, underneath the roots and stuff like that of the tree. And in there it's like it's not a stone cave, but it's like a dirt cave. There's obviously a place where it goes up a little bit so you don't get water pouring in there or anything like that. And it's a place where if it doesn't mind a little damp, it's a perfectly fine place to store stuff. They have pallets laid out. If you don't want stuff laid directly on packed damp earth, you put it on wood planks and things like that to keep it up off of there. Mm-hmm. And Lausa is back there waiting, perhaps a bit impatiently. Okay, so the Faceless Six are not going to be best pleased about this. We are not, the village is not part of all of this, and they put a lot of stock being hard to find, having other people taking advantage of that just so they can hide some stolen weapons away. There's no way we're going to be able to convince the six that run the town that this is something that we're going to be able to do. I can eat this for a little bit, but I don't have any place I can store this privately, and if we put it in here, someone's going to ask about it in 3 days. And that's like, she's not guessing. It's 3 days, and then they say, hey, where is this thing? This isn't ours. Why is this here? Especially if anybody happens to notice it's got Haven stamps all over the box.
Well, I mean, I don't make the rules, darling. I just try to follow them, and I was told to bring it here. And I would ask what you recommend that we do.
Did nobody say that we were going to have to convince the six that it was something that we'd have to keep here?
He said a lot of things. Very few of them were helpful.
We can keep it here. We already have a tarp over it. We can leave the cart in here. We can keep it for 3 days and no one's going to say anything. Anything like this, anything that even conceptually is going to endanger the ability of the town to stay hidden is a non-starter. Hush has not committed to being part of the resistance. They put most of their energy into making sure that Haven doesn't notice them. John, you know that.
Trust me, you've been succeeding. You've been succeeding.
She looks at you like, how would you know that? But doesn't ask. It's just that kind of a look, like kind of a, and a bit of a double take, because you definitely, once she looks at you again, she realizes you look like a Haven Clank, not a Fanewick
I
Clank.
just instinctively like cross my arms, and there's like a little patch that's like right under, like right next to my armpit, where like a Haven sigil would be, but it's been like there's a panel over it,
Like chipped out or covered over or something like that.
Yeah, there's a panel over it.
I'm sure they would be happy to know about that. And don't get me wrong, I am 100% behind driving those ceramic bastards out of here, but no offense. And you never, I mean, she's definitely not talking about you. You never rated the ceramic armor. Like that is high level.
Ceramic is, I mean,
No, this, okay. There's going to be some tangents here as we world build. Okay. I'm going to give you. I'm just going to drag it into the game space. We've established what Sean kind of looks like. Yeah.
yeah, big old metal guy,
Yeah. Big old metal dude.
Yeah, kinda.
very well dressed.
So we'll go down here and we'll grab Nonny real quick for.
I just realized everybody in this game is just playing another version of their Wild Sea character, except for me.
I can't stop making Baymax. Damn it.
It's a bit.
Wait,
fun.
where is it? My instinctual reaction.
Everywhere
Everywhere
I
I
go,
go,
I
I
see
see his face.
I just
Hmm?
like moth people, man. They're cool as heck.
Where the map?
So that is a basic Haven shock troop type form.
Yeah.
Like that, I'm showing you the picture of Nonny, right? This is the kind of armor that you see on the Haven, like a Haven
People.
on the Haven War Mage,
Yeah, people.
Haven War Mage Clank. It's straight up ceramic armor.
That
Damn.
is highly inefficient.
No. Ceramic, if you do it right, is incredibly impact resistant and incredibly light. Yeah, this is the good stuff. Okay. And there's variations on this, but generally speaking, the whiter and cleaner something looks in Haven's army, the higher rank it is, even if it's closed.
And the shock troops are mostly gray.
Dull metal. So the shock glaives are white with metal glaive blades and metal barrels on the opposite end, but the middle shaft is like a white, like a white something. Whether it's a coating or whatever, it's meant to look more elite, and that's one of the things where it's like, oh yeah, I wouldn't have ranked this. The glove in there is gold and white ceramic. The shards in the box are sort of like black, but with like an oily sheen on them. The nosebleed ones. So
I really want to grab that glove.
you're not even sure if you. I mean, no, let me put that another way. You absolutely know that you haven't been briefed on how to even use them.
I can guess.
Yeah, put it on your fist and punch. Probably.
Either way, somebody's getting smacked with it eventually.
Yeah, one way or the other.
I don't want to just take it. Who's the person I'm most likely to ask if I can have the glove?
So probably, boy. I don't know if you've met somebody high ranked enough to decide how this stuff gets distributed, because
No, like among the people here.
you guys are rank and file. There isn't a ranking person here to make a decision like that for the resistance.
No, but like who is the person that I am that
Who's
I
the
consider?
person that Sean would feel like he has to ask permission?
I guess Kiki, because she's the one who's like the face person for it, but I don't know that you guys are really like, you're all the same rank in the whole thing, because you're all just, I'm not even sure if Stoat is even in the organization as much as just friends with you guys and doesn't like Haven people.
Yeah, I know, but like, I mean,
Remind me again, like, why you're not in the Haven? Like, why you left or something?
yeah, I got low-key murdered.
He
on the
got really messed up, and then somebody grabbed his old thing and fixed him up. It was like,
Yeah, I was in a pile.
And when he got fixed up by somebody from Fanewick rather than somebody here.
Yeah.
And he got to know them, he got to like them, and then they murked the girl's kid.
damn,
So that was a big
that's
no-no.
not complicated at all.
So he didn't get like his programming broke, and now he's not a Havenite anymore. He made a decision
I just have morals now. Yeah.
I think you're right.
Anyways, so I kind of walk over to Kiki and I'm holding the glove. I feel like it would be useful if I had this. It'd be good for defense. I don't know. I never got briefed on how to use this. Please?
Yes, probably. I mean, these are very nice weapons, but you can't. You can't just take them. That's not the job that we're here for.
But we did already. That was very much a thing that happened.
Okay, yes, but we took them from the bad guys, but we're the good guys, and they're for other people.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. They're. It's like a gift. We're like delivering a gift.
Got it. But can I
I'm like a conversation between a 20-year-old who never has dealt with kids and a 4-year-old.
No, I don't want to call it.
I
I don't want to call it the turf, but this is very much reading like Hermione talking to Ron when he just wants to play with the pretty staff that he's definitely not supposed to be touching.
However, like, we don't know how it works yet, so maybe I could just test it out for a little while so we could get information on how it works. All right.
Yeah, so I would put, darling, I love the enthusiasm for this because we need that here. But I need you to put it back. First of all, because if anybody normal sees you with that, sees you specifically with that, we are going to have issues. And also, it's like technically not our stuff. And I'm all for taking things, but we need to take them like from the source. And this would be like double stealing, and like 2 negatives don't make a positive. So put it back.
Yeah, I was already walking back to the part when you said it makes me look like I'm still from Haven.
Because it is like that white and gold.
Yeah.
You can feel the power on this thing. It literally is vibrating in your hand. Like if you know how it feels when you turn on the hair clippers and you're holding it and they're on? The boo.
Yes.
No, I've only ever felt that against my head.
Well, imagine that in your hand. And it's going like all the way up. I mean, it definitely wants you to put, it's a perfect fit for you too. They are definitely designed for your body type. Left hand, ready to go.
I'm gonna like.
All right.
And I'm just gonna.
So I need you to make an instinct roll.
God.
Okay, so
The target is a 25. Didn't even have to nudge him that hard.
No, I'm just looking
You're
at
look-
the things that I need to do to make this even remotely work.
I mean, you could crit. It could happen. Functionally, I really should have made this a 30, but I think a 20.
My life just flashed before my eyes when you said 30.
Not that
Why?
25 is much better.
I mean,
What does spending a hope do again?
a hope in this case would let you use one of your experiences to add to the roll.
Okay,
and that would
so
give
I'm
you a
going-
+3. You would need to roll. That would mean that if you rolled 11, double 11s would get you. Basically, it would make it so an 11-12, which is a 23, would be a 25. Like that would get you
Okay.
over. But there's literally the only roll that isn't a crit that you could roll if you spent hope would be if you spent the hope and added X shock troop, because you could say that you kind of know how this is supposed to work. The only roll that would get you there is an 11-12, because a 12-12
alright.
a 12-12 is a crit and an 11-11 is a crit. So the only one that's not a crit that would get you there, plus you've got all the other crits that could theoretically do it.
Okay, so hear me out.
There's like a 9% chance it will work.
So if you look at, okay, I've got this order board thing, right? Record 3 sayings or values your upbringing instilled in you once per rest. When you describe how you're embodying one of these principles through your current action, you can roll a d20 as your hope die.
Yes.
One of them is pulling your hits as an insult to you and your opponent.
Okay,
Protect the future. Nonny has decided this means protect children. Combat is a test. Pulling your hits is an insult to you and your opponent. Hold true to your word and those that have just authority over you. Do not take off your helmet until you're finished fighting. This is why Nonny doesn't wear their helmet anymore. They're done fighting for Haven. So
you have like 5.
So
record these.
pulling your hits is an insult to you and your opponent. So I'm thinking in this situation, I would be pulling my hits if I was not giving myself this advantage. Like, it's very clearly useful. I can just paint over it later or replace the outer plating.
So I'm going to have you do 2 rolls, one of which you will get to apply the hope die toward. Okay. Are you with me? There's an instinct roll that you will not get to apply your hope die. Sorry, that's not true. There is a roll that you will get to have your hope die be a d20 on, and there is a different roll that is your instinct roll that you will not get to apply the d20 hope die for, because in that case, this does not help you. And I will explain. It will all be made clear in the thing. So there is a roll. The roll that the hope die will, I'll tell you this, the roll that your hope die will be a d20 for, if you want to do this, and you certainly can, is the strength test. And you'll get to roll, and that is a strength, that is for sort of attuning the gauntlet.
And the instinct roll will not
The instinct roll is for doing it quietly. So
I am removing a hope. I am rolling an instinct roll.
No, yeah, the instinct roll, don't check the thing. And you can tell it that you're going to do a...
instinct plus 3. And I'm rolling on the character sheet. That is a 15 with fear. Not great.
Oh, good.
So I'm definitely not doing this quietly.
15 with fear. All right. So on the other one, then you check the per long rest or per short rest thing. You check that box and you check the hope D20, and then you make a strength test. And you can also take the +3 on the strength.
Lovely.
So a total of
So this is just for so I am not quietly attuning this.
See whether or not you are actually attuning it. This is also a 25. I'm taking another fear.
So strength +2. And then shock troop +3. I'm rolling d20 hope, and it's +5. See how this goes.
You should be able to just click on the strength button and then say +3. And if you have the other thing, check.
That's a 21 with fear.
That was a 21, you said?
I mean, that's not bad.
It's not bad. And it
could have been better.
I understand. And the thing is, I think we all understand why you did it. This is a very powerful, This is a very powerful item. And it makes sense that you're like, if I have this, Sean, it is called a impact gauntlet is what they just call it. It's a very simple name. Haven Military, very straightforward.
Is it a secondary weapon?
No, it's a main physical weapon, tier 4.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to do a quick little damage roll against you.
Oh my god.
I'm horrified.
Oh, yeah, that's D10 plus 11. Yeah, I understand. I understand why that was a 30. Mm-hmm.
It was a 25, but yeah.
Wait, what? I was 4 away!
Nice, sweet! Jesus.
So
that's severe damage. That's severe damage.
My gosh.
So I'm marking 3.
So you guys see on the map where the cave entrance is, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to mark...
I marked 3 on my sheet.
All right. So do you want to... you can... I'm going to give you... I will tell you you can mark armor.
Oh, that's lovely. Okay. Mark armor...
But you can... I'm going to say you can mark armor... but you
to reduce...
You can mark armor, but you can only mark 1 because some of this is just actual internal feedback.
So I mark an armor to reduce the damage by 1.
Yep. So instead of taking 3 hit points, you'll take 2.
I'm going to use my stalwart feature to mark an additional armor slot to reduce the severity.
Okay, you can take 1 hit point of damage.
So
I have
so then I would have marked major damage, and reducing that by 1 is
minor damage. So you took 1 point of damage.
Yeah.
I have marked on the map where Nonny lands. You'll have to scroll down a bit.
Oh, jeez. Maybe I could use attuning like a movement ability.
Failing it?
Yeah.
So there is, the best way to explain it is he's just like, I'm just going to try it. And he pulls it, and it basically ejects him. The glove stays exactly in the same place in the air, and then he goes blasting out through the entrance, and the glove stays there for about 3 seconds before it drops to the ground.
Kiki just looks at him flying through the air. God fucking damn it.
Disappearing into this. I mean, he's literally Dopplering away.
There is a motion blur.
Because the damage on this is a D10 plus 11 physical, but that's a D10 per tier. So at minimum, this is a tier 4 weapon. At minimum, it's going to do 4D10 against anybody who can actually properly use this thing. That's why I picked 4D10 damage. Okay. But on any successful attack, you can spend a hope to knock the target back to far range. So
Yes, it would have. So it would have been very good for a level 1 character.
it would have been amazing. It would have only been a D10, but it would have been better than any other one-handed weapon that a tier 1 person can use. There are tier 1 weapons that do D10 damage, but none of them do D10 plus 11, and none of them are one-handed. Plus the knockback is ridiculous. But system says
One day.
System said, yeah, one day, absolutely peak performance, that thing. But right now, hard no. And a very hard no. So the crates were kind of cracked open. This blast happens and he goes flying back out, and Stoat I'm going to say Stoat gets out, like can't help but giggle. And then the splash is literally like if somebody belly flopped off the 30-meter tower when he hits the water out in the thing.
That would feel like a gun.
The glove drops to the ground.
You can add 2 fear there, mister.
I did. I used one of them to activate the hope feature of the gloves for the concussive knockback. But I do keep that extra one. Thanks very much. I do appreciate that. I do have 4 fear right now, and I will be using those right now because so the glove drops to the ground, sits there for a second, and then the runes across the back, like across the knuckles in the back of the glove, kind of go. They kind of do this. They kind of pulse in a little like ripple across the back, and all of the runes on the shocklaves do the same thing.
Fuck.
And then your ears all pop.
Fuck. Oh my god.
And okay, that's actually appropriate.
This is so bad.
Lau says, like, what just happened? And she kind of like, what just happened? Anybody want to take a stab at what just happened? Magic person?
Ow.
I'm under the water.
So big gauntlet.
You want to make an instinct roll? Your target's a 10.
It's not very hard to figure out what happened. It was not a quiet endeavor.
All right, instinct.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, it should just be straight up instinct.
See, 11 with a fear. Pass the mark.
Dad, you liking this fear?
I love this
You're
fear.
gonna
This fear is great for me. I love this fear.
delicious.
Delicious fear. I love it.
You feast off it like a vampire.
Issues.
All 3 of you take a stress, please.
Awesome.
Yeah, no shit.
The hide me ward on the town just dropped.
I fucking knew it. God damn it.
Now, to be fair, actually, we'll let that come out and play. It's not entirely Sean's fault.
No, it is.
Within the next 3 days, the weapons would have dropped the ward anyway because all these weapons have tracing runes on them. And
Yes, but we could have slowed down the process slightly.
yeah, you did speed things up a little bit. I didn't expect that. That's on me. But yeah, moment of stress there as you realize, as Stoat says, I think the ward on the town just we need to talk to the Arcanist now.
This is why people shouldn't have children. This is why I don't have kids.
I don't think the clank is a good argument for not having kids, as he is neither.
I'm 30.
Don't bloody well act like it, do you?
Well, I've only been alive for, I want to say 10 of them.
Zoe, you feel like you need to talk to the Arcanist because the last time you checked, the Arcanist was the one who maintained the ward.
Probably.
So the Arcanist, I'm gonna take you guys back to the Hush picture. And if you scroll down to the bottom, you get a little picture of the Arcanist. Whoops, I'm doing paint. I shouldn't be doing paint this time. You got your Arcanist here, and this is his house, which he has his little tree house. It's not exactly a tree house. It's a tree-ish house. So yeah, you fish Nonny out of the water.
Great endeavor.
I think the thing is, I want to give props to Sean because I do, and I'm not even giving you any shade. I really do feel like that came from a place of like, listen, this is how we.
Unfortunately, it was something my character would do.
This is what my guy would do. Except I do feel like it's actually founded in a place of not being a complete fucking game wrecking like murder hobo. It really. I'm not throwing shade.
It's what my character would do in the case of I am effectively 10 years old.
Yeah. Well, do your best, and that's the bad thing. If you had it and you could control it, would be very best. So making your way past the homes of the village, then out through the edge of the farmlands on the edge of Hush, you can see a variety of crops began to cultivate under a thin layer of glowing blue moss. The moss is kind of pulsing like a heartbeat. Well, this tree is so big it shades a big area of this, so the moss is somehow like helping the plants grow even though they get no direct sunlight.
A sleigh, girl boss.
Yeah.
This feels like a farm girl W.
Among the thriving groves of, among the thriving plant life and the groves of trees, all the trees in the area have hundreds of unique faces carved into them in all sides, like eyes looking in every direction. Some of them are friendly, some of them are wary, some of them are suspicious. The suspicious one seems to be following you, peering at you. One tree taller than the rest bears the Arcanist's home like an overripe fruit. The building, very large bird cage, I don't know, hangs from a rope. The rope is as thick around as a giant's forearm. Like it's like this big, the rope is this big, okay? In 3 coiled strands, tied to a massive branch and then counterweighted by a boulder down on the ground. So the rope goes up, it's tied to the top of this thing, goes up over a big thick branch, comes back down, and is then looped around and tied around a boulder the size of a hut.
You could just build a ladder.
He doesn't need to. He's a fairy, dude.
All right, yeah.
He could just fly up there.
You could build a launch pad.
The stone is marked with a collection of symbols, and the cabin windows are sort of pulsing with a soft yellow-green light. What would you like to do? Zoe, I'm going to ask you, since you've been, A, you haven't done anything just recently, and B, you've been here before. So,
I'm gonna throw a rock at it.
You could just, you have the ability, you can just fly up there and get their attention. Do you say anything to your companions before you head up there? You guys are just sitting there like, how are we supposed to? And she's like,
Well, I suppose that we are not privy to this conversation.
So yeah, Zoe. So what do you say? You pull up there and there's like the kind of the pulsing lights inside. There's the door. Do you knock? Do you call out? Is there a standard greeting? Is there an inside joke that you used to have with the Arcanist that you can reference?
I want to say I knock on her door, and she stops what she's doing and she says, "I know that knock. I know these teeth."
What do you say back to "I know that knock"?
Yep, it's me, good buddy old pal.
You knock and you hear her go, "What did you break this time?"
She said, "Did by any chance about," and I look at my non-existent watch, about 5 minutes ago, your ears popped her?
Oh, I was working, I hate talking through doors, and she opens up. She's, probably 7 feet tall, mix of a humanoid and a firefly sort of situation. You're tiny and she's big. She's as big as Nonny, honestly. But probably like a tenth of the weight.
Yeah, obviously. I could act as the boulder out on our house.
Yeah. She comes out, she goes, "No, I was inside and the whole place is full of magic." So she steps out onto the sort of the porch and is like, why are you asking about fire? Oh no. What happened? You didn't do this is Haven magic. What happened? Oh God, it reeks. What happened?
Let's go downstairs.
Okay, you and her kind of glended the good witch down off from her house.
Yes, I had the wings of a flutterby.
What? Oh, you, no offense, but your hand.
I know.
Explain it slowly, but also very quickly. This is very bad.
Gauntlet, put on, fail, explode.
Okay, so she doesn't ask things like, what are they doing here, or anything like that.
I tried to put on,
I tried to put on the pretty glove.
I tried to put on this powered gauntlet, and it did not like that,
All right.
apparently.
Okay, all right. Now, you would think that the worst problem that we have right now is that we have no wards and that Haven will quickly find us within the next 2 or possibly 3 days, depending on whether or not they are still actively searching.
They are. Last time I checked.
I know. That is absolutely going to happen, but that's not the most dangerous thing that's going to happen. That is second, and a fairly distant second. No, the problem is that the wards were keeping away the Wither. And it already knows. All right, so what we need to do, I will have to reestablish, I need to go there. And she points to the top of the big tree. I will need to go there where we put the center stone. And I will need to reactivate the wards. And you will need to stave off, because it's waiting right now. It's biding its time. It's going to wait until it has its strength together. But if it sees that the ward is going back up, the force will send things. So we need to work as fast as we can so that we can work before it has time to amass any significant strength. It may not even be able to kill anyone at this point if we work fast enough. So what we need to do is you need to stave off whatever they send against me as I am bringing the wards back up. Before we do that, we need to find some place. What did you bring? What did you bring into the town? What is it?
Stolen Haven weapons. One of them is a very magical gauntlet, and there's also like
you're about halfway through.
So.
You're about halfway through, and she's sort of pacing, and she kind of walks behind you and just hops up onto your back, and she's big, but she's light.
Just for the record, darling, I did tell him to put it back. I just want that.
I thought there would be an advantage.
Show me. Show me. Go. Yip, go.
Yep.
It's very dehumanizing.
I like that. You're running along. This is very dehumanizing. Yes.
Don't worry, darling. None of us are human.
And she's sitting there like this and like, all right. Oh. Right. How you?
Yeah.
Okay. Glaives.
That's where I landed over there.
Lausa's still there, and there are two other people who are wearing hoods, and then like.
No. If you say hoods and masks, that no.
The town is literally run by the Faceless Six. I have a.
Yeah, that's. If two of them are here, that's not good.
Yes, we're aware. But since you're protesting very heavily, I will spend a fear to make sure that some of the Faceless Six are here. I'll pay for it. Don't worry. So there's one fear being used up to get the Faceless Six involved. So there are two of them, and they have like basically the hood come up, and then there's like a cloth thing that hangs down in the front, so they've just got the eye holes. They are, they start to protest very loudly about all this, but the Arcanist kind of waves them like, that! Politics later! Protection now! Hush!
Oh, I like her.
All right. The glaives we break them quickly. The runes are, you just do that. You just go.
I have my orders.
The gauntlet we won't be able to break, but we will have to bury it. No, love, you. Take this. Not you. Break. You. Take the, and she hands you the, like, sort of the case that the glove was in, the box, right? She gives you a specific instruction of, like, a particular wicker basket in her house that she wants it stowed in. You're familiar enough with the place. You were there before. The one that smells like cinnamon, not the one that tastes like, that smells like old milk. Not the one that's very important. The snakes would be very upset. All right? Cinnamon, not the milk. All right, set that there.
Quote book, the milk.
This accursed thing, she says, looking at the other thing.
She was like, yawn.
These cursed things. Yeah. The basic idea of these things is they float around and just attack whoever you point at, but you have to pay a stress every time you make a successful attack in order to do the damage.
Damn.
And that's no, there's
Nice.
no. They're a combination of a couple different weapons, Sean. They don't exist in the book. There's
floating blade shards.
They're sort of a combination of floating blade shards and the blood staff plus like a loot item. So yeah, they're fun. Anyway, all right. These. I'm sorry to keep asking you to do things as you just broke all of those glaives, but this. I need you to go into the water. Start from where you were knocked in. Carry this. I need you to find the deepest part of the water, as far down as you can, and leave it there under a rock. I should have done a better voice for her because I realized I feel I should have been more like this and kind of a buzzy thing. But
Oh, you can switch it now. And
find the heaviest rock you can, set it in the lowest part. Set the rock on top of it. We'll deal with it. We'll deal with it later. The water should dampen it enough that they won't be able to locate it, probably. And remember where you put it. All right. Go and then I'll prepare the warding. Next time, and then when we all get back, I'll begin.
I don't think I think I'm just sliding down the hill, like carrying the box.
Yeah, it's actually not that big. It's maybe like that large. It's just a pile of sort of it doesn't. They're like shards of obsidian.
Yeah.
Right, but kind of reddish, bluish, tinged, oily. Give you a greasy feeling. All right. Cool. So when we start next time, the Arcanist is going to attempt to relock the wards, and you are going to have to deal with the forest reacting to that. Because the forest would prefer the Wither would prefer, according to the Arcanist, to amass an overwhelming force. But if you work fast enough, they're just going to have to work with what they have immediately available and what they can throw what they can throw at the village to stop the Arcanist. The problem is the Arcanist is a moving target because she's going to have to walk the perimeter of the village from each one of the original rune stones. So she's going to be right out on the edge where she's easiest to reach. So, bodyguard. Yay. All right. We'll stop there. Next time. Fight, 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 fight.
Fight, 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 fight.
Fight, 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 fight.
And I want to just say, for the record, just like masks, the coolest stuff happens when somebody rolls badly.